What should be our concern as a devotee that is trying to practice Krishna consciousness? What should we worry about?
I don't know. What are you worried about?
That I'm not doing anything
Uh, I mean,
sincerely, that I sincerely decided to practice it, but in my daily life, I honestly don't do it as I
well,
think I should.
I mean, I myself have that feeling too. So what are you asking me to solve that for you? I mean, everyone will naturally feel that I have a sense that I want to be deeply involved in Krishna consciousness and I want it to take over my whole life and I want that to be my only concern. But why am I not doing that? Everyone will naturally feel that and and Guru Maharaj in his books talks about that same issue. He talks about that. He talks about that if I have to evaluate myself, I will find that I'm deficient in so many ways. And that's the natural feeling of a devotee. No one's going to feel complacent. Nobody's going to feel like, oh, everything I'm doing is fine. I have no problems. I'm such a great devotee. Who wants to feel that way? I don't want to feel that way. I never want to feel that way. I'd rather just feel like I have so many deficiencies and I'm deficient in every way. So why should I be complacent? Why should I be satisfied with what I'm doing? I'm not satisfied with what I'm doing. I want to become, I want to follow the example of the exalted pure devotees like I see like Srila Govinda Maharaj and Srila Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada. And others of that range, they are my ideal. And if somebody says, well, we thought you were of that deal, then I could say, well, all right, so that's the subjective side of a devotee. A subjective side of the devotee is that they'll feel that my guru or my guide is of that exalted nature. They may feel that way. I never present myself in that way. I never will feel that way. I think that is if I did that, it would be a complete lie. It would be a misrepresentation. So I'm not doing that. But as far as questions about I have my ideal, I have the I know what something of having read and having, spent a long time with this process. I know what should be my consciousness, and I don't feel that is what I'm holding to all day long. And I feel that in some sense that's natural because we live in this world and we have so many concerns in this world. And on one level or another, we feel that we have to survive in this world. And surviving isn't just it's not just a simple matter that I go to work, I get my paycheck, I have so much money each week, and I can spend so much money. And as long as I'm within my budget, I'm okay. That's not our concern at all. That's not what we're thinking. No one's thinking that life reduces to such a simple formula. Everyone is thinking that it's not just a question of pounds and shillings or dollars and cents or rubles or whatever the currency you're using is. It doesn't reduce to monetary considerations. It's a consideration of subjective consciousness. And that's what we're trying to consider, how to adjust our consciousness. Because actually, Srila Prabhupada started out by calling this Krishna consciousness. So we're thinking, how can I make Krishna and Gurudev, Mahaprabhu, the center of my consciousness? So my consciousness is always absorbed in that. And I think to even question like that, to question like you're doing, Falguni, that's very positive. It's a very positive concern because if you question like that, then it means it's on your mind. It means it's part of your consideration. And that's very nice. Nice to be able to think that way. But if you ask me how to implement that, then I would say that obviously one way of implementing that maybe you can consider it's not directly part of my schedule, but what is this? Confirm my speaking language. I'm speaking in English. That's what I'm speaking. So save. All right. So I don't know why it asked me what language it's my confirm my language. Maybe Zoom heard me speaking Spanish and now it wants to decide well, wait a minute, are you going to be speaking Spanish or English? Okay. But anyway, if you're asking me what can I do to enhance my Krishna consciousness or to absorb myself in more in Krishna consciousness, well, one thing that I feel, uh, lately, what was part of my ideal has become I've become a little lax in that. And lately, I've been having, anyway, I'm supposed to be reading and giving a class in Chaitanya Charitamrita every day. And I feel if we read Chaitanya Charitamrita, that will be a very positive influence on our consciousness. So, you have Chaitanya Charitamrita available in English, and then there's Chaitanya Charitamrita available in Spanish also, and other languages. And to absorb yourself in Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I mean, we want to follow Gurudev, but we also want to know something about the person of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and I feel Chaitanya Charitamrita is very good for doing that, and also Chaitanya Bhagwat, and so that's one way. And another way, how can I absorb myself in in Krishna consciousness in my daily life, if that's what your question really is, Falguni? Then I would say also then that there's so many ways. If you can listen to the lectures of Gurudev, of Srila Govinda Maharaj, or if you're following Srila Acharya Maharaj, or listen to some lectures or some classes that they're giving, and then you'll have more of a feeling of contact with your ideal, who is your ideal. My ideal, I would say, in many ways, I'm here in California, and Srila Govinda Maharaj came here so many times. So I feel a strong connection with him. But unfortunately, sometimes our mundane life doesn't enable us to take the proper time to enhance our Krishna consciousness. So what do we do? Well, I think we have to take some steps that will take us out of the day-to-day, what is the word? Day-to-day sequence of events in our mundane consciousness. I mean, we have to go outside of that. We have to go outside of that sequence. So now, in about 8 or 9 days, I'll be doing that, not necessarily through my own arrangement, but I'll be doing that. First, I'm going to Guadalajara. I'm going to Guadalajara because we're going to install Shishi Guru Gauranga Gandharva Govinda. We're going to install Shishi Guru Gauranga Radha Govinda Sundar there, deities, and we'll have a nice deity installation on January 1st. So Dayal Chaitanya, si tú quieres ir también, el 1 de enero, vamos a tener instalación de las deidades de Shishi Radha Krishna junto con Mahaprabhu, Shishi Guru Gauranga Radha Govinda Sundar en Guadalajara, y va a estar ahí también Asha Maharaj. Y si tú quieres ir a Guadalajara, Bueno, hay un campamento que comienza el día 26 de diciembre y continúa y vamos a tener la instalación de las edades el 1 de enero. So I'm saying one thing of stepping outside my normal routine is that I'm going to Guadalajara first for a camp, campamento. We're having a camp in Guadalajara starting on the 26th of December. I won't be going till the 29th. I leave for Tijuana and the 30th. I go to Guadalajara because the 28th is Govinda, the 28th in just 8 days, it's Govinda Maharaj's Divine Appearance Day. So everyone should try and participate in that. Govinda Maharaj's Divine Appearance Day. If there's a temple near you, go to the temple. If you can't go to a temple near you because there is no temple near you, try to participate and find that some way you can link with somebody who is having the celebration of Govinda Maharaj's Appearance Day. I imagine we'll do something here in SoCal. I imagine Saraswati will be broadcasting something from England. Is that true?
Yeah. Yes, Maharaj.
Okay, so everyone should have a way of participating in Govinda Maharaj's Divine Appearance Day. As far as you, Falguni, and Gaurachandra are concerned, that day at least you should go to the temple. It's a Monday. It's a Monday, and I know you're having your restaurant and everything like that. And if nothing else, close your restaurant down for that day. Just post a sign on your restaurant. We will be closed for Govinda Maharaj's Divine Appearance Day. But if you don't have to close it because maybe you can get somebody else to make repas or something for people, then you can have that person do that. But go to Govinda Maharaj's Divine Appearance Day. And I'm stepping out of my normal, sequence of events, which involves so many things that, like I feel I could do without, but that's just part of daily life. So I'll be going to the camp in Guadalajara. We'll be installing the deities in Guadalajara. That'll be a big installation day on January 1st. Ashram Mars will be there. I'll be there. So that's something that I'm looking forward to. And then I'll be in Guadalajara for about, I think 19 days or 20. Actually, I'll be there for about 3 weeks because this just happened. Camp and deity installation. And then I'm going to Colombia. I'm flying to Colombia on, I think it's the 9th. What is it? The 19th of January. I think I'm flying to Colombia for 8 days. And then I'll go back from there. I'll go back to Guadalajara and then I'll go back to SoCal. And then I'll be here in SoCal probably for February. And then if I'm still alive after I travel to Guadalajara and Colombia, because that's going to be a certain amount of exertion. If I'm still well enough, I'll travel to India for Gaur Purnima. I'll try to do that. And I know all of you can't go to those events. So I'm saying do something that will participate in some kind of events that will take you out of your normal activities. Like, for instance, there's Ananda Krishna. He's in Hungary. Why is he in Hungary? Because I imagine because Vishaka's there, right?
Yes, Maharaj.
Yeah,
Yes.
so he likes to relate and listen to what Vishaka has to say and follow. He finds inspiration in her guidance. So that's why he's in Hungary. So for him, that's a positive thing. So maybe you can find something positive in your life, some inspiration that will inspire you. Like who is there in South in West London? Who is that?
Who is here?
No, you see her in the picture.
Oh,
You-
that is Lakshmi Rani from Colombia.
Oh, Lakshmi Rani from Colombia.
She just came on when? When was that? Friday? She just came on Friday, just very recently. She's going to be with us for 6 months.
She's going to be with you for 6 months.
Yes.
Okay. So she won't be in Colombia when we go there. No vas a estar en Colombia cuando vamos allá. Lakshmi Rani.
Dandaras pranams, Srila Bhakti Pavan Janardan Maharaj. Perdón, ¿me puede repetir la pregunta?
No, yo dije que tú vas a estar en Londres por 6 meses y nosotros, yo y Asha Marsh vamos a Colombia el 19 de enero, pero tú no vas a estar ahí, ¿no?
Mm,
No, okay.
no, no.
Okay.
Hubiera querido, sí.
Okay,
Mm.
but anyway, como decía, que uno tiene que hacer algo que va en como en embellecer o que aumentar su conciencia de Krishna. Y tú estás haciendo eso por ir a Londres y vivir en Londres por 6 meses. So that's part of what I'm saying. To make some endeavor. Lakshmi Rani's making endeavor by being in England for 6 months. And Krishna Mohini, she's in Spain, but she makes some endeavor by having programs there in Spain. She's in Madrid, and she's trying to have. Tú tienes programas en Madrid para los devotos, ¿no?
Sí, Maharaj, el sábado 30 vamos a celebrar el festival de Srila Govinda Maharaj con los devotos de aquí.
Okay.
Nos vamos a reunir para celebrarlo.
So everybody, one way or another, I believe the devotees are doing whatever they can to participate in activities of Krishna consciousness. So that's what I was talking about, to step outside of your normal daily life in order to be able to endeavor or do something that occupies your time more in thinking of Krishna. Like the more things we do like that, the better off our consciousness will be. Who is Donna Kay? Sounds like Donna Kaylee or something, but I don't know.
Hi, Krishna. I am new here. This is my first time here at this Zoom. I found it through Chintamani, who posted it on the Telegram thread. So I'm grateful to be here. Thank you so much. And I'm in Florida.
You're in Florida. Okay. And ¿cómo te llamas? Oh, what's your name?
My name is Dana.
Dana. Oh, okay. I thought your name was Donna because I know it says Dana K. So there is a name called Donna Kaylee. So I thought maybe you were that person, but you're not.
No, I'm sorry.
Okay, Don. Good to see you. Is this your first time on one of these Zoom meetings?
No, it's not, but it's my first time here at this one. So thank you.
Okay.
I'm happy to be here.
Are you from Florida?
Originally, no, I'm from Pennsylvania near Pittsburgh. I've been here in Florida for about a year and a half now. So
Okay.
I'm
That's
close to.
That's interesting. I was born in Pittsburgh, actually.
Oh, no way. Wow.
Okay.
Small world. That's great.
All right. Good to see you, Dana. So anyway, what we were talking about is doing things that will occupy more of our time, and not just our time, our consciousness, in the service of Shri Shri Guru Gauranga, of of our Gurudev and of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. And I remember Srila Sridhar Maharaj, he said, well, you have different connections which you will engage in. For instance, this doesn't apply to everyone, but many people, they have one responsibility in Krishna consciousness because they have family, maybe husband and wife and children. And so on one level, their responsibility is to kind of try to increase the faith of those persons who are in relationship with them. Like the mother, she's trying to, enhance do things that will help her husband, and also in particular, she's trying to instill some faith and some devotion into her children. So, and the father's trying to do that, and the children in some way are trying to participate. So on one level, we have the family level. So that, in one sense, you can say you have a responsibility in terms of engagement with on the family level, or on the personal level also, that you want to engage yourself in Krishna consciousness on a personal level. So you feel one responsibility of yours is to chant the holy name, chant on your japa. You're doing that. So that's one level of responsibility. Another level, on a personal level, is to offer your food to the Lord, to chant the holy name, to have some association. So all that's on a personal level. Then you go to another level. Another level may be to participate if there's a local temple. You're going to the local temple, or maybe your engagement with the local temple is to help economically, which is a very nice thing to do. If we have a local temple, we want to help that temple. So maybe we send donations regularly to the temple to be able to help them. And then we have the level with the connection with the center. With the center, one sense we can say our connection with the center would be, say, with the Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math. So during the time of Govinda Maharaj, we would try to donate and participate in activities with Navadip. And maybe now it's more difficult to define that, because we're not sending donations to Navadip, because we don't have a direct connection with the temple in Navadip, because it, in one sense, you could say, it doesn't, we don't have that connection anymore. But I'm saying in so many ways, you can see, how can you have a connection with Gurudev? How can you have a connection with to instill faith in Krishna consciousness in your family, or on a personal level, on a say community level, and then on a level of with the central math, if you have such a connection with you, which you can think of what for me is the central math. And I have a clear idea in my mind what responsibility I have with the central math. That is, for me, I'll go to India and I'll relate with the devotees, and I'll be in parikrama with the devotees, and I'll naturally contribute there, and on a level, a verbal level of preaching and everything, and also contribute financially. I'll give them money, who I'm going with and serving, etc. I mean, I'm trying to answer Falguni's question of how can we enhance our Krishna consciousness and have the devotees and the Lord more as a center of our consciousness. And I can say one level is to participate physically and mentally in Krishna consciousness. So physically, you can think of how you can do that. I think you're already doing that, because you you come to this Zoom meeting and you want to, you want to have some relationship with the other devotees, and that's why you're on a Zoom meeting and you're here and you're asking questions. So that's one level. And for me, that's very important. I mean, my whole life, I've tried to engage my time so that I'm engaging with other devotees and trying to serve Gurudev in the mission. For me, what is the mission? And this has worked out very positively because from a very early time, everybody who was kind of a mundane friend of mine in the old days, they've all given up on me. They've all thought, oh, he's become such a drag. All he ever wants to do is talk about Krishna, and he just wants to engage in preaching about Krishna consciousness, and we're not interested. So let's just break our relationship with this person. And for me, that's positive because Srila Gurudev, in his books, he said, Lord save us from our friends. You know that quote? So I had in the past, long ago, friends who I related with on a mundane level. You know what that mundane level is. You would go to the bar, or you would smoke some cigarettes, or be with those persons, or go to the racetrack and go together and bet on horses, or go to dances, all those things. Luckily, I was a bad dancer, so I didn't have to worry about that. So, I mean, all these things. Guru Maharaj himself, in one of his books, he says, Lord, save us from our friends. And I'm very happy to have been saved from my friends. Like one person I knew, her name is Aditi. She joined the mission, and then I also joined the mission long ago. And she one time told me, "Oh, your friends, they want to meet with you and they want to talk with you." And I said, "Okay." And I wasn't to be honest, I wasn't eager for that because I knew which friends these were, and I didn't really necessarily feel I had very much in common with them. So I told her, "That's fine. We can meet, but one condition for our meeting is this, that we can meet, but we cannot talk about anything from the past." Because I didn't want to remember everything I'd done in the past that was mundane. So I said, "Well, we can meet, but only we'll talk about the present, what is going on now." And I'm happy to meet with them, and I'm happy to talk about the present if they want to tell me what their activities are and what they're doing now and this and that. We can talk about the present, but I don't want to talk anything about the past, what we used to do and everything like that. I don't really want to remember that. I don't want to talk about it. So if they want to meet with me, we can only talk about the present. That was my condition. And she said she told them that, and they all said, "Forget about it. He wants to just preach to us. So we don't want that. So we don't want to meet with him." And I thought, oh, okay, fine. I wasn't necessarily, maybe I was going to preach to them in some ways because that's who I am, but not talking to them about the past. I didn't care if they wanted to talk to me about mundane activities because I can find a way somehow to talk to them something about Krishna consciousness, even if we discuss their mundane thoughts and activities. I don't mind that. I just don't want to talk about what we used to do because I'm not interested in that. I want to leave that life. So I just said, okay, we can all meet. But the only condition I have is we just talk about the present. And they said, "Forget about it. He wants to just preach to us." So I thought, okay, good. Then we don't have to meet. So they didn't want to meet with me because they thought I just wanted to preach to them. So good. Actually, I wasn't just trying to preach to them. I thought, well, I'll meet with them, but I don't want to be reminded of all the mundane things I used to do and say. So, okay, that was my condition. So, what can you do? I'm just some notification from these are iPhones. They're total jive. Okay, I'll click on them. They wanted to know my password. Why do I have to give you my password for my own phone? What is the significance of the Atmarama verse which Mahaprabhu explained to both Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and Sanatana Goswami? What is the significance? So, Falguni, do you feel your question is kind of answered?
Yes, Maharaj. Thank you very much.
You really think it's answered? I didn't know.
Well, it gave me more ideas, so which is good.
Okay. All right, Atmarama verse. So I don't remember all the words of the Atmarama verse. Atmarama Chamunayo Nigranta. Okay, so the idea of the Atmarama verse is that and what Mahaprabhu is doing with Sanatana Goswami and to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he's explaining the expanded purport of the Atmarama verse. And to Sanatana Goswami, what did he do? He explained it in what was it, 61 different meanings, or was it 64 different meanings to Sanatana Goswami? I thought it was 61 different meanings, but does anyone remember? Anyway, it's a number. It's a lot of meanings. But the idea was that all living entities are attracted by Krishna, even if they're in the liberated state, even if they are Atmaramas who are completely liberated from all mundane activities, but in other ways of explaining Atmarama, Atma can refer to practically any living entity. Atma, because we all have Atmas, and it can refer to, as Mahaprabhu explains it, can refer to birds, bees, people in every condition, impersonalists, personalists, hunters. Everyone will become attracted to Krishna. The word Krishna is all attractive. So the Atmarama verse is explaining that everyone ultimately is attracted to the Lord and in all aspects of life. I mean, this is oversimplification, but this is what my reading of, and I've read this not many, but several times. I've read the Chaitanya Charitamrita many times, and it's in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. So everyone is ultimately attracted to Krishna, even persons on the stage of liberation who are liberated souls. They're attracted to Krishna. So Mahaprabhu explained this. Somebody can give me this number. I thought it was, I pushed the wrong button here. Anyway, let's see. Here. Let me just ask the question here to Sri Google. Explain the Atmarama verse to Sanatana, because I know how many to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. It's 18 different explanations. But with Sanatana Goswami, 61 ways. So I was thinking it was 61 ways. So it is 61 ways he explained it to Sanatana Goswami. And then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Who else did asked that I wasn't there when you explained the Atma Rama verse, so could you explain it to me? Well, that's not the case with Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. With Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Mahaprabhu defeated Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's impersonalist explanations of Mahaprabhu showed himself that he said he showed himself as a student. Ultimately, we're all students, as Guru Maharaj said, and he asked that Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya tried to explain. He said, "You're a very young sannyasi, and to protect you, I thought I would explain the Vedanta Sutra to you." So then Mahaprabhu said, "Fine," and for over 7 days, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya explained the Vedanta Sutra to Mahaprabhu, and then, but Mahaprabhu didn't ask any questions. And then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said, "Well, you don't ask any questions, so I cannot understand whether you're understanding the Atma Rama verse or not." And Mahaprabhu said, "You're right, I don't understand anything that you said." And then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, who's supposedly explaining things to Mahaprabhu, because Mahaprabhu was so young, he took sannyas when he was 24 years old. He needed to strengthen Mahaprabhu's sannyas, so he said, "Well, if you don't understand the Atma Rama verse, why don't you ask me questions? You didn't ask any questions in 7 days." And then Mahaprabhu said, "Oh, I didn't ask any questions in the sense of I didn't understand, but I understand the Atma Rama verse perfectly. It's self-explanatory. I understand the Atma Rama verse perfectly. What I don't understand is your explanations of the Atma Rama verse, because they all seem like inventions that you're not explaining the real meaning of the Atma Rama verse. You're just creating some kind of cloud that's covering the sun, that you don't your explanations produce more confusion." So then that was like a slap to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. And then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said, and then Mahaprabhu said, "Besides the real explanation of the Atma Rama verse is the Srimad Bhagavatam. The Srimad Bhagavatam explains the Atma Rama verse." And then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, then Mahaprabhu began, and then let's see. Well, first, Mahaprabhu actually said, "The real explanation of Vedanta Sutra is the Srimad Bhagavatam. It's also there in Gayatri Mantra." So then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya says, "Oh, I especially like one verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam, the Atma Rama verse. So can you explain that?" And then Mahaprabhu says, "You first explain it, and then I will comment something." So I believe Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya explained the Atma Rama verse. How many different ways? I think 9 ways. And he thought, now I've regained some prestige with Mahaprabhu, because he thought, now I've adequately explained the Atma Rama verse. But again, it was the wrong explanation. It's all impersonal explanation. So then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said to Mahaprabhu, "So if you can add something, then please do so." And then Mahaprabhu explained the Atma Rama verse 18 different ways without even touching on any of the explanations of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. In other words, he defeated him a second time, and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was, so to speak, flabbergasted. He was without words. And then he understood, Mahaprabhu, this explanation is not by an ordinary soul. This explanation is by the Supreme Lord. So what is that explanation of the Atmarama verse? Because this is what is the significance of the Atmarama verse? But you already know the significance of the Atmarama verse because you know the significance of the name Krishna. Krishna means who is attractive to everyone. So that, in its sense, the Atmarama verse is explaining that all living entities, taking all the words of the Atmarama verse, is explaining that everyone will ultimately become attracted by Krishna. And as Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, he says, what is it? What's the verse? Brahma Bhuta Prashanatmana Sochatina Kankshati Samasarveshu Bhuteshu Mad Bhaktim Labate Param. He says that when Brahma Bhuta Prashanatma, when one is on the full level of realization, Brahma Bhuta Prashanatmana Sochatina Kankshati, and one no longer is experiencing Nashochati, any lamentations for anything that one has lost, and Nakankshati, and without hankering for anything which one does not have. In other words, you're not with any hankering for anything that you don't have, and you're not lamenting anything you lost. Why? Because you're on the level of Brahma Bhuta. You're on the level of self-realization. Brahma Bhuta Prashanatma. Nashochati Nakankshati. Samasarveshu Bhuteshu. And you're Samasarveshu Bhuteshu. You can see all living entities equally. You don't have any friends. You don't, in other words, you're not that you don't have any friends, but you're not seeing in terms of friends and enemies. That I like these people because they think like I do, but I hate these people because they think opposite of what I do, or they think, you're not saying in terms of friends and enemies. Samasarveshu Bhuteshu. You're seeing all living entities equally. So Brahma Bhuta Prashanatma Nashochati Nakankshati Samasarveshu Bhuteshu Mad Bhaktim Labate Param. If you're on that level of realization, Mad Bhaktim Labate Param, then you can begin with devotional service. So, in other words, if you are self-realized, then you can Mad Bhaktim Labate Param. Then you can engage in devotional service. Mad Bhaktim means my devotional service. Krishna is saying. Then you can engage in devotional service. In other words, even if you're a self-realized soul, you can. It doesn't mean you left devotional service behind. You can start with devotional service. So, in other words, you don't have to be self-realized to engage in devotional service. And then even if you were self-realized, that's not the end of it. You're still engaged in devotional service. So this is something of the meaning of Atmarama verse. Everybody will ultimately be attracted to Krishna and want to serve him. And why? Jiva Swarup Oi Krishna Nityadas, as Mahaprabhu has said, the very nature of the soul, of the Atma, is that the Atma is an eternal servant of Krishna. So naturally, the Atmarama verse is going to establish that you're an Atma and you're attracted to Krishna and you should engage in his service. So anyway, that's my oversimplified, because I'm not a self-realized soul, but that's my oversimplified explanation of the Atmarama verse. Okay, now I'll go on. We have erected high walls on all sides to protect ourselves so that...
There is a question number 1 above that one.
Oh, okay. Question number 1.
by
Dhanyavad Saraswati Devi, my question to Maharaj is that if we cannot establish a real relationship with our guardians and Vaishnavas based on love and affection, what will be our future? Pretty bleak fruit. Sounds to me like a pretty bleak future. If we cannot establish a real relationship with our guardians and Vaishnavas based on love and affection, what will be our future? I don't know. You tell me. Why can't you establish a loving relationship with your guardians and Vaishnavas? It seems to me you have to be able to do that. If you can't do that, something's wrong. I don't know. Maybe you better, okay. My question to Mara, if we cannot establish a real relationship with our guardians and Vaishnavas based on love and affection, what will be our future? Well, all I can say is then you got to go back and start over in the sense that if you cannot feel something spontaneous from your heart, you should try to engage in the principles of what is it? Sadhana Bhakti. What is it? You engage in activities of devotional service. If you can't feel like association with the Vaishnavas and you can't feel a relationship with your guardians, then I guess you're going to have to go back to square one. You're going to have to engage in all the activities recommended for devotional service if you want to follow this path. But I don't understand why you can't why somebody's asking me, what should I do if I can't establish a relationship with my guardians and with the Vaishnavas? Why can't you establish a relationship with them? I don't understand that question. What would happen if you said, whether a man or a woman, if you said to somebody who you loved, I love you, I love you, I love you. And then that person said, you're always saying that, but when are you going to do something for us? You say you love me, but you have 3 children, you never provide for them, and you never provide for me. So stop saying you love me all the time and put some food on the table. Spend some money on your family. Do what's necessary, right? Huh? Isn't that natural? For instance, Gaurachandra and Falguni are together. And if Gaurachandra just said, I love you, I love you, I love you, and he never did anything to help the relationship, Falguni would be upset. Or if Falguni said to Gaurachandra all the time, I love you, I love you, I love you, and she never wanted to do anything to help Gaurachandra, he would be upset. So how can somebody say that's on a personal relationship level? So if we cannot establish a real relationship with our guardians and Vaishnavas based on love and affection, what will be our future? I mean, what is your future? How can you not have a relationship? How can we not have a relationship with people that we have loving feelings for? You have loving feelings for devotional service for the Lord, then you have to establish a relationship with the Vaishnavas and with your guardians, with Gurudev. And if you can't do that, you've got to go back to square one, because that should have already happened. Am I right or wrong? Saraswati, am I right or wrong on that?
Yes, and maybe Sulalita can maybe explain more her question, what she means by her question.
Dhanyavad.
Well, I think that
Sulalita,
I think if it's Sulalita, part of the question is that she lives in a country where there aren't so many devotees.
Yes, Maharaj.
And
I'm like,
yes. She wants to establish a relationship with the devotees, so it's a different answer for her. She's in a country where there's not so many devotees, and she wants to be able to establish a relationship with devotees, but there aren't any devotees in her country.
Yes,
So
Maharaj.
okay, so then her relationship is more practical. this isn't just a philosophical question, it's how can I establish some relationship? Can you go to India?
Yes, Maharaj, I want. If you go, I am trying to go. Actually.
Okay, I'm trying to go also. I don't, if my health permits, I'm going. And where will I go? I will start, my trip will start in Tarakeshwar. That's where I will go first. Okay? If I get
Okay.
there early enough. Otherwise, I'll go to the Holy Dham. Otherwise, I'll go to Navadip, or specifically, Navadip is 9 islands. So I'll go somewhere in those 9 islands. I'll go to maybe Godrumadvip, or wherever place that we can start out our parikramas, I'll go to. But if you want to go, if you, Sulalita, want to go, if I go, then we'll keep in touch. You keep in touch with me, and when I know more of my plans, then
Yes.
you can buy it. You can buy a ticket and go to India. I don't know. Is that financially possible for you?
Yes, yes, Maharaj. I will be very happy to meet with you, actually.
Okay, so then my plan is to be with the devotees. Now,
When will you
I
go to Tarakeshwar,
I think
Maharaj?
somebody like Ananda Krishna, he's going. Are you going in January? Ananda Krishna?
Yes, I'll be going February, actually.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. But myself, I'm not going till March, because Gaur Purnima is very late this year. Gaur Purnima, I think, is on the 19th. So I will go probably the beginning of March. If I go to India, which I'm thinking that I'll go to India in the beginning of March. Maybe only reason I wouldn't go to India is if I'm in a hospital or something. But if I'm well enough to travel, I'll try to go to India at the beginning of March. Okay, that is my desire. And if I go to India at the beginning of March, I'll first come to England and Ireland. Or at least I'll go through England, and if I don't go to England, and both England and Ireland, I'll go there on my way back. But one way or the other, but definitely I will at least go through England, and I'll try to go through Ireland on my way to India, and that will be in March. And as far as any other places like Hungary or this place or that place, I cannot say anything because I won't have necessarily the health or the time to do that at the beginning. So I'll go in March. I'll try to go to England. Saraswati, will you go to India this year?
Maharaj, I don't know yet. I
That
explained
means yes. That means she's going.
I don't know. I wish. Gaur Purnima this year is on the 25th of March. It's quite at the end.
Is it that late?
Yeah,
I thought it was on the 19th.
25th. On the 21st, it begins the
Parikramas?
on the 20th begins the parikrama. 20th.
Oh, great. Okay, good. So I had the wrong date. I was thinking the 19th, but the 19th is the Adibas of the parikramas, probably. So that's why I was thinking I had to be there. Anyway, okay, I'll try to be there for the parikramas and for Gaur Purnima. And before that, I'll go to England.
Great.
And maybe when I know, but I'm not booking the trips yet because I have to go to Guadalajara and then to Colombia. And I'm hoping my health after Colombia will be good enough to allow me to go to India. It should be. It should be. I think it will be, but all right. So then as far as that question, I already answered on a general level, but if you would have told me it was from Sulalita, I would have understood what she was saying. But the question sounds like, how can we establish a loving relationship with the Vaishnavas and with Gurudev? And I took it to mean, well, why can't we establish a loving relationship with the Vaishnavas and Gurudev? But in her case, she's saying, well, there's no devotees in the country, so what can I do? And I would start out by saying, see if you can visit Sulalita, see if you can visit England. There's many devotees there. There's a beautiful temple. There's Saraswati, Devashish, and all the devotees. And I would want to have the association of them. So if you can get a chance to go to England, that's also very good. Then you'll have a chance to associate with the Vaishnavas based on love and trust, because I think they're very nice devotees. Without love, Krishna consciousness is empty. With only intellectualism, we cannot go anywhere. Then sometimes only asking, how are you? More substantial than big questions. And how can we establish loving relationships with our guardians? Through service. I think you have to have a service relationship with them.
Yes,
Like you did.
Yes.
You did with your mother. There was something practical involved there. You wanted to have a program. And what was the basis of that program? The basis of that program was service to the Vaishnavas. You wanted to feed everybody in the name of your mother. You wanted to feed the Vaishnavas. So that's something practical. And I
want to continue, Maharaj, but I am lack of association and service opportunity. Then what can I do now here in Turkey?
Okay, so continue. Try Turkey. How it's pretty close to London, I would think. Maybe 2 hours by plane.
I think 6.
6.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it that far?
Yeah,
Sorry.
I think so.
I thought.
I am living in Ankara, in capital. Then go to Istanbul. Then go to England. Yeah.
Okay.
This type.
Where is Turkey near? Turkey is near to Greece?
Yes, very near.
Okay, very near to Greece. I didn't know it would take so long to go to Greece. I thought Greece was, and how close is Greece to Spain? How close is Turkey to Spain?
Very, very close, very close.
They're
Spain.
close. But it doesn't take that long to go from, it doesn't take very long to go from London to Spain, right? To go from London to say Madrid is only about 2 hours, isn't it, Saraswati?
Yes, maybe even a little less, maybe 1 hour.
Then to go from Madrid to Istanbul, how long is that by plane?
It's close, Maharaj. 2 hours maybe, but I am not in Istanbul.
Okay.
I'm in Ankara.
Okay, anyway, I'm just saying if the closest temple to you, I would think the closest developed temple to you is London, right?
Yes, I think so.
Because there's not so much development of the mission. In Spain, they have devotees and everything. You could always go to Spain to associate with the devotees. But in London, they have a nice temple that Gurudev went to many times. And how many times did Gurudev go to the temple in London, Saraswati?
Maybe 24 times. Every time he went on the world tour.
Just imagine.
Stopped in London on the way there and back.
24 times.
He went on the world tour like 24 times, right? So every time he went, he stopped in London.
Right, so he went many times to London. Anyway, London Temple's very beautiful. You can go there to have some association. Maybe you can plan on some festivals if you can't go to India for like Janmashtami or something, you can go maybe take a trip to London or something sometimes. Anyway, on what the question, more substantial than big questions, and how can we establish loving relationships with our guardians? You know, we have some saying, it's not very, I don't want to, I'll say it because but it's not a very nice saying. In Spanish, they say, amor de lejos, amor de lejos, amor de, pues, a word which means not something, it's not a nice word, but it means what you're saying is, how can you have a loving relationship from somebody from very far away? Like, suppose a husband lived in, say, Turkey, and his wife lived in say, New York. It would be what kind of a marriage is that if somebody said, how long have you been married to this person? For 20 years. And how long have you been with that person? And they would say, we've never been together. We just communicate. You'd say, what kind of relationship is that? That's the most stupid relationship I ever heard of. You know, that you're married 20 years and you're never with your husband. And what kind of a marriage is that? That's absurd. Then we would say, amor de lejos, amor de pendejos. Then what we would say, that this is not really, this is a foolish relationship. So then, in other words, what we're saying is, you cannot be separated from the person. But at the same time, we're saying in Krishna consciousness that Krishna consciousness is service and separation. So that means that Krishna consciousness doesn't depend on a physical relationship. You can serve the Lord in separation. It's unlike a physical relationship. Why? Because a relationship between husband and wife is a relationship more than just a physical relationship. It's a relationship of affection. It's a relationship of service. The husband or wife is serving the family. Everyone's serving the family. So there's more to the relationship than just a physical proximity. But physical proximity is also part of the relationship. The husband comes home every day to see his wife, and then they talk together, and then they're with each other. Maybe they go to some movie, or maybe they go to some, somewhere together, or maybe they go on vacation together, or maybe this or that. But that in part is a physical relationship. Krishna consciousness is not like that. But we are in physical bodies. So we need some relationship with the devotees, and we need some relationship with Gurudev. So one relationship with Gurudev is to send him some letter. And when Govinda Maharaj would open up a letter, he would see if there was a donation inside the letter. He would look. If there's a donation inside the letter, Gurudev would do that. So I would feel if I'm sending a letter to Gurudev, and I know he's like that, so I will always include some donation in the letter, because that's part of the relationship. Anyway, I'm just telling how we can have a relationship with Gurudev and the Vaishnavas. It's also, that, I want to contribute to the building of the Samadhi. I send a donation for building the Samadhi. We would do that when they were building Guru Maharaj's Samadhi. Would send donation to the building of the Samadhi. If they're having if they're doing some, there's so many things. Okay, that's that question. What is the significance of the Atmarama verse? Already explained that. We may have erected high walls on all sides to protect ourselves, so that Krishna consciousness may not enter. But Krishna is a thief, and a thief requires no invitation. No presentation is necessary for his welcome. He will enter for his own interest, and that is our consolation. Our solace is that Krishna is a thief. Maya has erected high walls on all sides, but nothing is sufficient to stop Krishna consciousness. Krishna is a thief, and stealthily he will enter one day. And could Could I discuss this concept? And I have always found this passage in Search for Sri Krishna to be the only solace. But similarly, sometimes I feel that we keep Krishna so far away, and maybe he's keeping a distance as a result of my fallen nature. Yes, but there's also something else in that, in Sri Guru and his grace, in relationship. It says Krishna is a thief and he'll find some way into our heart. But it also says if we give even Krishna a small place in our heart, he will not be satisfied with that just small place. He will gradually take over everything. Do you know the exact relation? What I'm saying, you've heard that, right, Saraswati? You've heard that. If we give even Krishna, we're trying to keep Krishna locked out of our hearts, but Krishna is a thief, so he'll enter. And once Krishna enters into our heart, even if he has only a small place in our heart, he will gradually take over the whole thing because he will not be satisfied with a small place in our heart. Do you know that reference, Saraswati? You know that, right?
No, Maharaj, I don't remember. Is that from Sri Guru and His Grace?
That's what it says here, but I know about this. We have erected high walls, and it says it's from, I believe it's from Sri, Search for Sri Krishna. Okay, Search for Sri Krishna.
Krishna Kishore question.
Dhanyavad, Maharaj.
That question is from Krishna Kishore.
Okay, it's from Krishna Kishore, but it also says at that place that once we give Krishna a small place in our heart, he will not be satisfied with that. He will want to take over everything. Isn't that true? Krishna Kishore.
Dhanyavad, Maharaj, sorry. Yes, it rings a bell. I cannot remember exactly the verse, but...
Okay, well, let's see if we can find this online because I'm pretty sure. Anyway, it's getting late in the Zoom conference, but it also says there, if Krishna is a thief and he will enter our heart, even if though we have tried to keep Krishna out by, we have erected high walls and we have locks and everything on our heart, but Krishna is a thief. He's not waiting for an invitation. So he'll find a way into our heart. And once he has a place in our heart, he will take over the whole thing. That is also part of that description. We can discuss that more next week because if it was earlier today, I would go to the Search for Sri Krishna and I would find that passage, and then I would talk about, because I also remember that once Krishna has a place in our heart, he won't be satisfied with just a small part of our heart. He will want to take over the whole thing. So that's also very nice. Now, but why hasn't Krishna taken over our complete our heart? Well, all I can say is maybe that's a work in progress. Maybe in this lifetime, but maybe in the future, I don't know. But our heart is not just something that's pounding. It's not just something that, like you go to the butcher shop and then buy a heart. It's not like that. It's not something physical. We're talking about the level of love and affection. So Krishna will take over our heart. I'm sure of that. Why hasn't Krishna taken over my heart? Because I don't know. I'm just a fallen soul. What can I say? I haven't allowed Krishna to do that. Maybe Krishna is doing that, but I'm maybe fighting against that. But I don't know. Maybe I make too many aparaj to the devotees to be able to allow Krishna to take over my heart. But I'm convinced that Krishna will take over our heart. Anyway, so I'm kind of at the end of my wits right now because it's 12 o'clock here and it's 8 o'clock there, isn't it? It's 8:06 in London. It's 9:06 in Madrid. Imagine at night, 9:06. So people are saying, when is he going to be quiet? We want to eat. We're hungry. We haven't eaten yet. I'm not so hungry here, but you are. So Karuna Sundari, have you eaten yet? Karuna
Yes,
Sundari.
Maharaj, I just had some noodles.
Huh?
Yes, Maharaj, I did.
Oh, you've been eating.
Yes,
Okay.
Maharaj. Yeah, because I had to feed Amal as well. And then he's
Okay.
got to go to bed soon, so I had to stop in
All right.
between.
So everybody else has to eat. And there, you, Lakshmi Rani in London. Has tenido tu cena? You have to turn on the microphone.
Sí, Maharaj, sí. He
¿Han
comido.
comido en el templo?
Muy
No.
bien, el prasad, muy bueno.
Pero has comido hoy en la noche.
Ahorita en la noche no sé, ¿no?
Van a servir prasadam, ¿no?
Ya estuvo el prasad y ya algunos devotos tomaron.
Okay, anyway, I'm saying now's the time for the devotees in London to take prasadam. That's what I'm saying. It's getting late, and we've had this for a while, so I'm going to end here. Saraswati, today is very good. A lot of devotees are here.
Yes, very nice, Maharaj.
Subhasini, how are you?
That's Maharaj. Yes, I'm very good, Maharaj. Thank you.
Have you taken your dinner yet?
No, not yet. I
Okay.
usually take late, so it's okay.
Yeah. I always wondered about the agenda in the temples because the devotees take about, say, 8:30 or so, they take breakfast. And then they take lunch at, say, 12:30, right? Right? In the temple. And then they don't take dinner till very late, 8:39. So it seems like breakfast and lunch are close together, but lunch is far apart from dinner. Is that correct?
The breakfast is around 8 and the lunch is at 1 and in the evening is at 8, but most of the devotees don't take evening.
Why
prasadam.
not?
I
Okay.
maybe they take around 5 and then
Okay, good. All right.
early.
Just saying too long to wait. All right, my Dandavat pranams to everyone.
Nanda Maharaj, Jai Srila Bhakti
Dandavas,
Pavan.
Janardan Maharaj, Dandavas.
Jaya Chaitanya, perdón que no te reconocí, eso es lo que decía. Pero
Pero ya
no-
se acordó.
normalmente tú no estás en esas pláticas.
No, casi no me meto al Zoom, Maharaj, pero sí se acuerda de mí ya se acordó.
Okay. Sí, algodón. Ve si puedes ir a Guadalajara para el campamento.
Sí, ¿se acuerda cuando me perdí allá en Guadalajara, en la barranca?
Oh, sí, yo recuerdo eso.
Ah,
¿Cómo te perdiste en la barranca?
sí. Bueno,
Sí,
todavía lo siento, Maharaj.
eso, sí recuerdo de eso. Pero eso fue hace años, ¿no?
Sí, fue cuando me inicié.
Ok. ¿Y estabas en la barranca con quién?
Pues me fui a cantar mi yapa y se me hizo de noche y me perdí en el río y ya no veía nada. Y pues le llamé a la policía porque no sabía cómo salir.
Yo recuerdo eso, pero no es que fuiste por allí con alguien.
No, fui yo solo.
Ok, pero yo recuerdo todo eso, porque yo recuerdo que te perdiste en la barranca.
Sí,
Ok.
lo siento, Maharaj.
No, eso fue hace tiempo. Ya no estás muerto, estás bien, entonces no hay preocupación. All right. So my dandavats to all of you, to everyone. Some person don't. Where is Anna Shabodi Nayuk? in which country? In Russia, Ukraine, or
You mean Subal Govindaland? Govindaland.
In Ukraine?
Oh, maybe.
Anna.
Anna Slobodianuk.
It sounds like she's in Ukraine, but I don't know. Maybe in Russia.
Mm.
Maybe in the temple.
In which temple?
Is it gonna have Pandit's wife? It looks like her.
No. She's from Ukraine. She just answered in the chat. She's from Ukraine.
Ukraine, okay.
Dandava pranams.
Dhanyavad.
Kiev. She's from Kiev.
Okay. But Nazar, do you know her?
I think yes. She was in Lviv recently.
Okay. All right, very good. I didn't know her before. And I didn't know Dana. Dana, you're in Florida.
Yes.
Are you near any of the devotees?
The devotees, the closest temple is 2 hours from me. So I can go there once in a while, but I wish I was closer.
Which temple is that?
Alachua?
Oh, that's ISKCON. We're in the Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math. Maybe sometime you can visit us.
I would love that. I wish there was a temple of one of your temples near me, but there isn't. So that's the only thing I found close to me. So now all I have really is Zoom, because I don't even really know anybody here either. So these Zoom meetings have been so.
If you can, send me your address, because there are some devotees in Florida.
I will.
Okay, send me your address. You can do that by, I don't know. Let's see.
Praneshwari is in Florida.
Praneshwari, perfect. You know Praneshwari?
I do not.
Okay,
well,
good.
I know.
Okay, send me some way I can communicate with you.
I believe Chintamani knows a few details, right?
What?
Chintamani must have Dana's details, right?
Yes, she does. Chintamani.
Chintamani, okay. But if you send me, get in touch with Praneshwari and she can get in touch with me. And Subal Govinda. Subal Govindaland. Where are you, Subal?
Maharaj, we are in the heart of Ukraine.
Okay. Very good. And do you know Anna?
Yes, she is engaging in service in Govindaland.
Okay, very good. Now, some things are starting to make sense. More sense. All right. Who is TK Das?
Dandavad Maharaj, it's Tarit Krishna Das.
Okay. And where are you?
I'm in London, in central London.
Okay. So when I go to London, will I see you?
Yes.
Okay. I hope to go there to London on my way to India. So that will be maybe end of February or beginning of March.
Great. Looking forward to it.
Okay, very good. Do you ever go to Gaurachandra's and Falguni's restaurant?
No, I haven't been yet, but I've been meaning to go actually.
Yeah, that's a very nice restaurant. You can go there too.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. And you, Lakshmi Rani, ¿quién está contigo ahí en ese cuartito?
Dandavad Maharaj. Maheshwari Devi dasi.
Okay. Very good.
Majeswari is disciple of Srila Ashram Maharaj.
Ella es una discípula de Ashram Maharaj?
Yes.
Okay, good. I will see you. I'm going to see Ashram Maharaj in about a week.
Are you coming with him to London, Maharaj?
Huh?
Are you coming with him to London?
I hope so, if we can do that, but we don't have any tickets.
Okay.
I will try to get Ashram Maharaj to go with me to London.
Please.
We went last time. Last time we went through London and Spain, but this time we'll go through London. Y tú, Lakshmi Rani, eres discípula de quién?
De Srila Govinda Maharaj.
Okay. ¿Y estás casada con alguien?
Sí, Maharaj, es con Hridai Prabhu.
Hridai Krishna.
Yes.
Pero él no está en Londres.
No,
Okay.
mi corazón está para los devotos.
Okay. Muy bien. All right. Dandavas. I thought, well, how is that possible? I know Lakshmi Rani from Colombia, but then I was thinking maybe there are two Lakshmi Ranis. But okay. Pero yo voy a ver a los devotos de Colombia cuando ya voy a Colombia. That's by the arrangement of Ashram Maharaj, because I wasn't planning on going to Colombia, but Ashram Maharaj insisted I go, so I'm going.
Nice.
Okay. Anyway, my Dandavat pranams to everyone. Now getting more left.
Jai Maharaj.
Jai Srila Bhakti Pavan Janardan Maharaj ki jai.
The devotees.
Hey, Saraswati,
Yes.
this picture is not big enough, right?
Your picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's normally when you are sitting in the other chair, it's better.
Yeah, because I'm using a different computer. This computer I have is in my room, and it has the what do you call it? This thing.
Oh, the camera, yes.
Yeah, if I do this, it's closer. Camera's further away. So maybe I'll have to make a different arrangement.
Yeah, next time.
I just did this because normally I set up in the other room and I use my laptop, but I thought, why can't I do it on this computer? Then I don't have to do so much work, but it doesn't work so good. Okay. My Dandavat pranams to everyone.